Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, family and friends. We are back again. You missed me? I know it's been a little while, about a week since I've did a video. I usually do them every day, but with the winter freeze here, I've been making sure that my house was taken care of and campaigning. Whew, campaigning is a everyday job. It's a 12-hour-a-day job, at least for me. Okay, at least that's the way I'm approaching it. Like, it's a 12-hour-a-day job, sun up to sundown, and sometimes into the evening. Anyway, I've been getting a lot of calls. People are asking, hey, what do I think about Minnesota? What's been going on in Minnesota with the two high-profile shootings by ICE, the Immigration Customs Enforcement? Well, two things. One, that's not all the harm they've been doing. They've been doing a lot to U.S. citizens, but that's secondary. I think I finally figured out. I think I cracked the MAGA code. Okay? And I've been thinking about this for years. But I think the problem with MAGA, part of it, it's a selfish, self-centered. I know there's a better word for it, but they think that they are better than thou, better than everyone. Okay, let me give you an example. They think they're better than Democrats because they think every bad word in the dictionary about anybody that's Democrat. So they think they're better than Democrats. They think they're better than women because they don't want you to have any body autonomy. They think they know better what's better for you, what's better for women than women can decide for themselves. They think they know better for women than what women think for themselves. They think they're better than minorities, okay? Because minorities, they don't even want you to have equal representation or voting rights because they know better. And they think they're better than immigrants because immigrants are just a lower class version of minorities. That's the MAGA mentality. And I'm going to give you an example of that, all right? They believe in the law, but the only thing they believe in the law is that protection of the law applies to them. Enforcement of the law applies to everyone else. Perfect example. What did they say about the gentleman that was just, that was protesting, and he had a permit, he had his firearm, and they said, oh, you don't bring firearms to a protest, right? Isn't that what they said? You don't bring firearms for a protest. But what they forget is that the internet is forever. And there are dozens of pictures of the people from January 6th with long rifles, ARs, pistols, mace, bear spray, all kinds of weapons. They were using flagpoles to hit police officers. They were doing all kinds of things. But those guys are patriots. They were all pardoned because they believe that if you believe like they believe, you're right. If you don't believe like they do, they are better than you. Okay? Let's not forget all the protests where they were outside of Planned Parenthood, armed. I didn't forget. Did you women forget? Let's not forget Kyle Rittenhouse, who went across state lines, armed himself, and went to a protest. They don't have a problem if you believe what they believe, if you say what they say, if you agree with them. It's everybody else that they are better than, okay? Now, I waited a couple of days because I was stunned. And I didn't want to talk crazy before I got more information. So the NRA actually came out. And I will give them credit for this where credit is due. And the NRA, in no uncertain terms, said that man should not have been shot by federal agents, by ICE agents, and he had every right to be there with his sidearm, with his sidearm. They stuck up for somebody on the other side, of the aisle. I will give them credit for that they seem to be keeping it even. It just so happens they donate a lot more to MAGA folks, but I'm sure that there's some Democrats they donate to as well. All right. So I say all of this because, again, I want to remind you about MAGA, how they think they are better than, because they care more about somebody protesting and vilifying this guy for showing up with his sidearm, and they seem to care more about that than care about pedophile protectors in the Epstein file. That's all. It's not going away. It's not the Epstein files aren't going away, buddy. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching my video, and keep your hearts, open. And I don't want to say thoughts and prayers for their families. I actually, I say this emotionally. I got very emotional over the deaths of those two Americans. I'll just put it like that, okay? Anyway, thank you guys again for watching my video, and you guys have a good afternoon.